Ow, that's hot. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. If you can hear me, just push like the like or love button so I know you can hear me and we'll get started. Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. Live from Los Angeles at the Andaz Hotel on Sunset, which is my favorite because I stay here all the time and I know where the coffee is. And it's delicious. Okay. So, I had a very important, so you guys probably want to know how my meetings went yesterday, right? Because you guys, a lot of you were sending me messages, rooting for me to have good meetings. So it did, wait, really quick, I'm all over the place because I need coffee. It did finally snow in Birmingham yesterday, so my kids actually got to play in the snow last night. And Michael sent me some really cute pictures of the kids playing in the snow, which was awesome. And I got to see, I FaceTimed them and they were loving it. Okay, so the meetings yesterday went great. They went so great, and I really believe this is the year for John 3:16. I have no doubt. I believe this is my year. This could be my season. I'm not kidding. Like, I really think that the hard work I've been doing and the foundation that I've laid for my career, I really believe that this is my season. Let the church say amen. This is my season. I am telling you, I'm putting it out into the universe. I had that big meeting yesterday with Jimmy Miller, the agent, and one of his, the manager, and one of his managers. She was great. Her name was Ashley. She was like so pretty and not intimidating at all, made me feel completely welcome and answered all my questions. And it was just such a good meeting. And I really, really feel good about this year. I really, really do. Okay, so I'm leaving today for Temecula to go start filming the documentary about the foster care system. So I'm excited about that. And for those of you who came over and found me on Instagram yesterday, and you sent me those messages telling me that, some of you were like, it's bad, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. And others were like, not for me. I love your honesty. My Instagram is Jamie P. Sullivan, and those of you who have come over, I love you. Okay, so let's talk about emotional purgatory. Let me define for you exactly what emotional purgatory is, okay? Emotional purgatory is the place that we put ourselves when we are hurting, okay? It's that space between the actual hurt and healing. It is the space that we stay in oftentimes to be a martyr for, I feel like this makes me look like I'm in The Shining. This is weird lighting, isn't it? It is the place that we put ourselves oftentimes when we want to be a martyr for our mistakes. I understand emotional purgatory. I understand being in a space where you have done someone wrong and you have apologized and they have not yet forgiven you, and you feel like you need to stay in a space that I call emotional purgatory because you want them to see how sorry you are. But let me tell you what takes over for them. What takes over for them is their ego takes over, and their ego says, look, he or she is punishing themselves because of what they did to you. Make them hurt. Make them feel punished for as long as you can. It means they love you. Look how much they love you because they're willing to punish themselves. And they can no longer make healthy decisions for you. You have got to make the healthy decision for yourself. You have got to pull yourself out of emotional purgatory. We talk about own it, fix it, move on. Whatever it is that you did, no matter how wrong, you've got to own it. You've got to say it out loud. You've got to be comfortable with it. Feel it in your hands, okay? Let's say it was an affair. We'll just use that as an example, right? Let's say you had an affair, okay? And you went to your significant other and you said, I had an affair. You got caught having an affair. And I am truly sorry for what I did. If you are in a space where you are extending an apology that is wholehearted and true, and you know that it is true, you give the apology and you leave it with them. And then you give them space and time to process the apology, to get to a point where they can accept it or not. What you do not do is put yourself in emotional purgatory, an emotional timeout where you are the martyr being abused and kicked while you're down. They just want to claw at you and claw at you and claw at you and tear you down and tear you down and tear you down and re-dig it up and shove it in your face and make you apologize again, only to say things like, you're not sorry. If you were sorry, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. Because let me tell you what emotional purgatory will do to you. It will break you. And once you are broken, it is so hard to ever come back to where you were again. If you allow someone to break you over a mistake, if you allow them to continue to bury you in emotional purgatory, and Instagram is Jaime, Jaime Sullivan. Okay, focus. If you allow someone to bury you in emotional purgatory, the first time they dig you up and rub that mud back on your face and bury you again, it's not about healing for them, it's about ego. They want you to be a martyr. They want you to prove how much you love them. They want you to keep falling on that sword and dying over and over and over again because you've wronged them and you need to somehow make it grand, make the apology bigger. I need to see more, but the truth is they're not even in a place to accept it. This is the saddest part, is that we go into emotional purgatory for people who are not even ready to forgive us. So we become emotional martyrs, crying and dying inside over the mistakes that we made. What can I do? I said I was sorry. When you get to that point where you say, I don't know what else to do. I said I was sorry. I meant it. I've said I was sorry 1,000 times. What else can I do? The truth is at that point, nothing. Nothing. There is nothing that you can do because they are not in a place of healing. They are not in a place of acceptance. They are not ready to move on. They want you trapped in emotional purgatory so that when their anger that they have not yet dealt with bubbles up, they can rip you out of the ground and shake the shit out of you to feel better. And then when they calm down and it passes, they'll stick you back in the mud and keep you waiting in emotional purgatory until the next time there's a trigger or something that sets them off. And now I know you're saying, but Jaime, if they had an affair, I should be able to be angry. Absolutely. I'm not denying that. I should want apologies. I should get apologies. You absolutely should. But if you think that keeping the person in your life in emotional purgatory will somehow keep you safe, if you think keeping them trapped in their emotions is a life vest for you, that they won't cheat again, they won't hurt you again as long as you keep them trapped in that space where they've never really been forgiven, you're wrong. It's false. It's a false victory. It's what we in the movie business call a false victory. You think you have them where you want them, but you don't. If you cannot truly forgive, if you cannot truly move on, you are only hurting yourself by keeping the person that you love or who loves you in emotional purgatory. If you don't believe you can get there, you've got to let them go. Because if you keep a man or a woman in emotional purgatory too long, they will break. And then you are left with a broken man or a broken woman. And who wants that? Who wants that? Who wants to then be raising children? Who wants to then be living life and growing with someone who's broken? How does that work? We all make mistakes. We all do things that we wish we could take back. We wish we could do differently. Emotional purgatory should be an extremely temporary place that we go when we are trying to make things right. And if you know that you can't forgive, because there are some things that just cannot be forgiven. I understand that. If you know you can't forgive, let them go. Let them go. Okay. So I spoke to a friend yesterday who, okay, it said Diana Rosa just shared your video. Thank you, Diana. I thought it said for a second Diana Ross. I was like, okay, guys, this shit just got real. Okay, the Supremes are watching our video. I understand. I'm using cheating as an example, but there are plenty of things that happen in relationships and in friendships and in all of those types of situations where you need forgiveness. You need healing. Okay, guys, listen to me. You're all asking me questions like, what if the apology doesn't seem sincere? Guys, if the apology doesn't seem sincere, then it probably isn't. But do you really want to move forward with somebody who can't apologize sincerely for hurting you? You don't need me to tell you to move on. You don't need my permission. You're the president of you. You say who, you say when, you say how much. If somebody has truly hurt you and their apology doesn't seem sincere, then it probably isn't. Do you really want to keep them in emotional purgatory begging for a sincere apology? If you are the mistress, that's a very interesting, somebody just asked me that. That is a very interesting question. I would like to explore that more. Anybody brave enough to ask me again? And nobody here is going to attack anyone because we're all here trying to grow from our situations. What about being the mistress? What is your question? What if you are the mistress? Meaning what? You are looking for what? The wife to forgive you? I don't know what exactly you're asking, because the question was okay, well, I was trying to find that comment again, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna find it. But I don't think, hi Dawn, hi Lisa, I don't think that the comment, if you are the mistress, you have to leave because he is the only one gaining. Yeah, I mean, if only that was carrying the guilt inside. Okay. I will say this, there isn't a person here watching who has not created a situation where at some point they have done something to someone where they have felt guilty. We like, as human beings, to categorize sin because it makes us feel better. Well, I do A, but I don't do B. I would never do B. I do A, but I would never do B. Keep in mind, there is always somebody who wouldn't even do A. Remember that. When we sin, we like to say, I'm going to say it again, when we sin, we like to lay our sin out. I do A. I sin A, but I would never sin B. There's always somebody behind us who goes, really? Because I wouldn't even do A. I wouldn't even sin A. So the truth is that somebody's trying to call me. So if there's a crack in the video, I apologize. Guys, I understand that letting go is hard. I understand that forgiveness is hard. I understand all of those things. I also understand that situations are complex and complicated, but I am here to tell you, you do not need to live in emotional purgatory for anybody. That is not why you were created. You can grow through pain. You make mistakes, you grow through them. I get it. But you were not put on this earth to be emotionally tortured by anybody. You need to get to a place where you can own your mistakes. You can try to fix them sincerely the first time. And then you've got to move on. You were not created to live in emotional purgatory where somebody is just going to continue to rehash your mistakes, to bring up your mistakes, to rub them in your face and then drag you in the mud and then bury you in emotional purgatory again. That is not why you were created. Own your mistakes. Do what you can to fix them, and then move on. If and when they are ready to forgive you, they will. I promise you. But you have got to give people space to process it. If you stay in someone's space after you've apologized, their ego is going to take over, and their ego is going to force you into emotional purgatory, and it is going to break you. Do not allow anyone to break you. Okay? You make mistakes. You are not your mistakes. That is not what you are. You make mistakes, you learn from them, you move on. You are not your mistakes. That is not what you are made of. If I was my mistakes, none of you would love me. Yet every day you tell me you love me. If I laid all my mistakes out for you, would you still love me? I hope so. Because I am not the mistakes that I've made in my life. I am a product of all the mistakes that I've made and the ways that I've learned from them and grown from them. That, I believe, is what I am. And people say, Jamie, how did you forgive yourself? How did you finally move on? I got ridiculously tired of living in emotional purgatory for everybody, being their emotional martyr. It's exhausting to constantly allow somebody to rehash the mistakes you've made and then force you to get back on that ride and go through it all over again just to apologize, for them to tell you that the apology isn't real and you don't mean it and you'll do it again. Well, I can't go through this anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I love you guys so much. So much. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Please share this video. I'm trying to get us to 500,000 because I have a big surprise for you. Encourage somebody to like the page. Let's see if we can do it together. If they don't apologize, Cammie, then they're not sorry. And you've got to figure out a way to forgive them anyway so that you can heal and move on. Now it's about you and not at all about them. I love you, Amanda Roden. Thank you for sharing my video. I love you guys. Have such a great day.